Rashad, why you
Anyway,
didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad?
Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
brother, I love you, brother. Trump lit.
What's up, Rashad?
Yeah.
What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
Deante Kyle's back. Speaking of podcasts, Deante Kyle's back on the internet. He probably disappeared from the internet for about a month after he said like, "Oh, Martin Luther King, them boys like they didn't go after the white people. They ain't do it like me. I would have got them white people. I don't like the way that Martin did it." It's like, why are you dissing Martin Luther King? And then he came out the next day. He was like, I was drunk. And then he left Twitter. And then he kind of left the internet for a month. So he comes back today with this interview on Merrill or Deuce. I get the two confused, but I believe it's Merrill's podcast with the other guy, the podcast where Mike's been on, the underground rapper up in Jersey and stuff like that. He was on there, and then he also returned to his own podcast, and he said addressing it all. His podcast is about 2 hours long. I haven't watched it yet. I just want to watch this clip right here and see what's going on.
I think things that can ruin your life shouldn't be easily accessible. This is why we don't have advertisers on my shit. Because I say no dick pills, no gambling. Because they gamify gambling. My idea of gambling is like, you don't pay, nigga breaking your legs. Right. I honestly don't like legal weed. I think you should buy weed from a nigga in a car.
I always do. Yeah.
Buying weed in an Apple store is weird. I don't fuck with it.
I don't know about this.
Yeah.
You know, like in 05, you can hit mid and be high all day.
Yep.
One blunt of mid with you and 4 of your homies. You high.
You be
You
blasted.
in GTA, real shit. The graphics of life change.
Yeah.
I mean, I think things that can ruin your life shouldn't be easily accessible.
Okay. Wait, hold
You
on.
shouldn't be able to get on your phone.
Hold on.
That's dangerous territory because now that means anybody can do it. And that means kids can do it.
Yeah, what he said about the advertisement thing, I totally agree with him. Me personally, I kind of go back and forth all the time. I see the most accessible advertisements that the content creators get a lot of times, especially in my space, speaking a lot about sports and things of that nature, are like the gambling ones, right? And it's like, dang, do I compromise my morals for this gambling bag? I know I'm gonna get money. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm gonna get a good bag from saying Prize Picks. Put in code Rashad and get 20% off your first $100 bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about that often. But I think when push comes to shove, even if it was like, if you take this, you can quit your job, bro. I think I would probably turn it down. Did I? Yeah. Gambling right now with the big beautiful bill. Yeah. I heard about it. Like they saying like gambling and sports gambling and all that stuff might be compromised because of the big beautiful bill, which we're getting to at the end of the stream, by the way, too. He said the bill that the GOP was trying to pass would tax the heck out of people who gamble for a living. 100%. Yeah. I seen that. The big beautiful bill. Gambling would be OV. Yeah, so then, all the people who depend on like all of those, you know what I'm saying, brand deals, they'll be in trouble too. It just is what it is. N's name. Oh, insane. Yeah, 100%. 100% Big Nate. You get taxed for losses as well. Essentially, Vegas is finished. Dang, Vegas. Now, Vegas, I had so good memories in Vegas, man. I don't gamble. So that's why I said, like, when it gets to that point, if you offer the bag, Nate, like, what you think? With Big Nate Sport pot, like I don't know. Your morals might be different than my morals. You might be like Prize Picks, cold Big Nate, but me, like, I ain't doing it because I don't gamble. Like, it's not what I do. So let me see what he say right here. Oh, it's on mute.
One thing that was said quite a few times in my it was a long 3 weeks, but we are back.
Also, you picked 3 weeks off.
One thing that was said quite a few times at my auntie funeral.
Big Nate said he's not a gambler. So all right, salute to Big Nate, man. We both not taking a Prize Picks bag. I'm not gonna do a DraftKings ad. I had to do actually Prize Picks when I was on another network because I was on the network and the network took the deal. So as a part of it, every episode we had to be like, use code so and so, but I didn't like it because that didn't go with my morals, and we ain't even get no money from it. So it was just like we just doing it to look like we lit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I didn't like it. But especially on my platform on Rashad Milligan, we ain't doing that. Not going for it, buddy.
Life be life.
Yeah.
We find a lot of excuses on why we don't show up for the people we love while they're living. Now, I have some regret behind me and my auntie's relationship upon her passing. There was
so his auntie passed away, so that's why he left as well.
There was in hindsight petty things that kept us from being in communication. Things that I took seriously when it happened, but as time went on, we could have gotten it together. We could have found some place of understanding. But pride is a motherfucker, and that millennial overcorrection. A lot of millennials have embraced this idea of individualism, right? The cut your folks off if they don't respect your mind, if they don't want to treat you like an adult, if they don't respect your sexuality, if they don't respect your politics, if they don't respect your ideology, you just cut them off for a better you. I would say that trend had an upkick of around 5 years ago. Seriously, during the pandemic, people were getting to the point where they was like, they feel that like they was in a bubble. Social media had became the outlet for everybody. It became a place of connection, but it became a place of digital community, but not real community. So a lot of us embrace this individualism, right? I will say this. Now, there's a pros and cons to everything. We also have to understand that we are in a swing of a pendulum, right? So a lot of things that we've done is we was raised in this traditional aspect, this religious aspect, and what we call the old world pre-internet. And then we were raised in that until we were between the ages of maybe 8 and 14. Then we get the internet. Internet is what it is. We go through Y2K. We go through World Trade attacks. We get on MySpace, and then we start. This is where we start our digital communities on MySpace, right? Then your top 8. Mm-hmm. You go to school with 1,200 people. You got a top 8. And what were we doing? This is where we started incentivizing online friendships. If I put you in my top 8, put me in your top 8. We start doing all of these things that breed insecurity about how visible we are in other people's lives on the internet, right? Facebook comes right along. Facebook is the small town. This is the interconnectedness of not only the people you go to school with, but your close family friends, your aunties, your cousins, childhood friends. You reconnect with people you went to elementary school with. We start embracing these online communities, and it becomes the focal point of our socialization. A lot of our attention is given over to these online things, but not as much. It was a long 3 weeks, but we are back now. One thing that was
about individualism, that I want to say that he was talking about here. It's just like I feel like individualism, it breeds like he said, like you just cut off everybody, like you cut off things, like if it don't serve you, cut them off. Life is too short, and I'm like, no, bro. Like, I think that's the reason why. Like, see, here's a take: unmarried person, no children. Take that with a grain of salt. I feel like people need to start saying that before they just give like these takes, right? These type of takes. I feel like that's the reason why like marriage these days a lot of times it just doesn't last, because it's like people feel a way about certain, you know what I'm saying? Like people feel a way about certain things, like, oh, this person gets on my nerves when they do this, and they're like, I'ma leave. And it's like, bro, like this is a serious commitment you made. I feel like it should be taken more seriously, but it's like, no, if you don't like the marriage, leave the marriage. And I'm like, nah, I don't agree with that necessarily. Like I said, unmarried person here, so I do not know, but I am the product of parents who were never married. I was born out of wedlock and things of that sort. My parents were never together, so it was like I gave people fuel, man. I just gave people fuel. Next time they want to talk about me, I just got to deal with that. I might even cut that out of a video. I might even cut that out just for the sake of the comment section. But that's just the way I came up. But I just feel like the individual mindset and like a lot of the social media propaganda promoting individualism is very, nobody's perfect. And I think it kind of promotes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it ain't perfection within your life and the way that you exist in your bubble, then get rid of it. And I don't think that's very healthy. I don't know. Maybe because I was on the other side of that as well, of like getting cut off or cut out of people's lives for what I felt like were very petty reasons. And you know, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. It's 2025. It's just, if people want to move like that, people gonna move like that. But dang, like, we ain't gonna build no sense of like consistent community because everybody wants everything to be perfect all the time. Nothing's going to be perfect. Things are going to be difficult. You're going to have ups and downs with your friends. You're going to have moments where you love your friends and have moments where you're like, your friends get on your absolute nerves and you're questioning, is this really my friend? Like, it's just natural. It's a part of it, dog. Like, you can't just give up on stuff, dog. That's how I feel. The problem is that each generation doesn't pass the true wisdom. Social media destroyed what relationships, friendships are today. Are we adults? Yes, but at the end of the day, nothing in life is going to be rainbows and butterflies. 100%. Just is what it is. Like, stuff is going to be difficult, bro. So like, what it sounds like with this Deante Kyle thing, a part of the reason why he also left, what she revealed was his auntie passing, and how he was feeling about his relationship with his auntie while she was on here. You know what I'm saying? While she was on here on Earth, and having a weird relationship with her, and you know, people having weird relationships with their family members in general. And yeah, I think it's like, no, you should value your family a little more, even if they rub you the wrong way, because at the end of the day, they're still your family. Now, I get it. In some cases, I feel like there are, you know, cases and rounds of, this is irreparable. We can't come back from this. I would say those things are, you know what I'm saying, you know, being essayed, being raped, all of those things, like those things, you can't come back from that. That is what it is. Even extreme abuse, like to the point where you were fearing were you still going to live after said abuse, right? Like those things, irreparable. You can't come back from that. But something like, we came into business together and he stole $100 from me, like that stuff, man. Conversation, bro. Conversation. It could be reconciled. Or he went behind my back and told my girlfriend that I was cheating on her, and so I cut my cousin, like stuff like that. Conversation over the phone. Or I felt like you looked over me as your cousin when you went and helped your friend out, and it's like, dang, we blood. You could talk about that. People have become individual in the 1960s with the hippie movement, and then it spread across and it was passed down from generation to generation, and it just keeps getting more extreme. I think a lot of it is like, with this generation in particular, it's like the protect your peace movement. I think it's been, it inadvertently, like, just very damaging to like building relationships and relationship building and stuff like that, because it just holds people to like, it's like good guys, right? I always had this theory about good guys, because me personally, I don't know if you could tell or not, but the way I present myself to the world, for some reason, people just automatically label me as a good guy. And then it's like, so when we become friends, or when we build towards something, and then I just act like a human, all right? Like, I'm not the most kind person in the world every second that I'm breathing. Then it's like, oh, you're manipulative. You make people think that you're this perfect guy. I'm like, nobody's perfect. Where are you guys getting this from? It's like, God forbid I have a day where I didn't get sleep because I was streaming at 3 a.m. the night before. I come into the office irritated, and then you asking me something, and I get some bad news or whatever, or like someone's asking me for money and you ask me something. I'm like, what? And then you're like, you're not a nice guy. I thought you were a good guy. You're one of the good guys. You're just like everybody else. And it's like, good guys don't exist because everybody's human, bro. We all get mad. We all get irritated. We all get Like it is just human nature, bro. It's human nature. So it's like I think it's the same thing with this protect your peace thing. God forbid one of your friends has a bad day and you ask them for some advice and they snap on you because they were just at their breaking point, and now you're like, I'm cutting you off. I don't need this type of energy in my life. They're not like, what are you? They're not humans. They're not, I mean, they're not robots. They're humans, bro. They have ups and downs. It just is what it is. Big Nate said, we have moments where we're adults, things will happen. We just don't know how to fix or control it. 100%. You should value them. At the end of the day, feelings are value. Healing and forgiveness takes time. 100%. That's a good point. That's a good point, Nate. At the end of the day, you as a person have growing to do and be better for tomorrow, etc. Exactly. Like I know, and I know my friends, they hate when I reference them. They hate when I reference them. But I do know somebody who's like beefing with one of their parents. And I know like y'all probably know someone who's beefing with their parents, or you might be beefing with your parents if you're watching this on the replay. And it's like this life is so sudden and random. It doesn't have a thing, right? Like, so it's like, why would you want to be on bad terms with one of the people who brought you into this world over, like, a lot of the times the arguments are petty, or a lot of times it's like from the kid grows up and they like, hey, you made me feel like this growing up and it's affecting me in my day-to-day life like this. Would you like to apologize to me? And the parent goes, apologize? What I need to apologize for? You lucky that I let you have a roof over your head. Matter of fact, get out of my house. You grown anyway. Go back to your own place. And then they take that and they're like, it's F my parent forever for life. And I don't know if that should be the case, bro. Like, I don't know. Maybe just because I have a good relationship with my parents that I view it in a different way. But I just don't think that you should just throw away your relationship with your parents away that easily. But like you say, Big Nate, like feelings are valid, and healing and forgiveness takes time. There's no timeline to it. But also random. The end of it is we don't know. And when it ends, it's over. It's permanent. It's in pen.
Lineal overcorrection.
Seeing so many people, you know what I'm saying? July 2nd, I'll say this. July 2nd, this was the 13th anniversary that, you know, our family received the news that my auntie passed in Shreveport, Louisiana. She moved to Shreveport and she was driving, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was driving FedEx. And I guess she fell asleep because it was a one-car accident, fell off the road. They found the truck at the bottom of the hill. She's, you know, deceased on the scene. And it rocked our world. She's like 41, bro. Rocked our world. Because it's the first time that has like happened to me with a younger family member. Of course, grandmas, everything like that passed away and stuff. But this was the first time it was like a younger relative for me. So the whole family's just crazy. But like one member in particular was hysterical about it because they necessarily weren't on the best of terms at the end of my auntie's life. And it just wrecked them forever. And after seeing that, it's like, I don't need to be on bad terms with anybody at any point. Now, if we tried to reconcile and it just wasn't working and we just ain't meant to be, like the puzzle, let it be. It is what it is. Have a great life. I wish you the best, but we just don't gel. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a couple people like that, but with everybody else, I try to squash the beat, bro, because this thing is so random and I don't want to live with that guilt or that feeling forever. Because if I rock with you at some point in life, I feel like I'll rock with you forever. So yeah, that's it. That's it. I want to say that about that. So welcome back, Deante Kyle. Sorry for your loss with your auntie. I hope you feel better. Dang, I still got mad stuff, bro. I spent a lot of time on the other stuff. So all right, I'm gonna speed through these last few things, bro. We gonna get out.
Rashad, why you
Anyway,
didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.